right, hello everybody. Thank you all for joining. I hope you can hear me. I didn't get a chance to do quite all of my normal pre-checks today. Thanks for joining. I see a bunch of people here in the chat, and let's see if my chat messages are going to show up. Oh, they are. This is excellent. So, got a fun thing in store today. I am traveling today. I'm in San Francisco, and this is the hotel room I'm staying at, and actually got a nice view of the sunrise this morning, which is kind of nice. And, oh, audio low. I'll fix that. I didn't think there was any music. Was there music in the countdown timer? So let me go ahead and just show you what I'm doing here while I'm fixing this. I'm seeing I'm seeing decent levels here. I'm seeing it's going up into the yellow as I'm talking, but I'll bump it up a little bit. Is that a little better? I think that's probably good. So give us chat a second to catch up, since I'm probably on a bit more of a delay today than normal. Also, since I'm streaming on the normal setting, not the ultra low latency. Still quiet? Okay, if you saw me change the volume and it's still quiet, we're going to fix it one more time. I'm going to go up here and change this one to that level. This, by the way, is the GoPro. Oh, is there? No. Yeah, so lots of new stuff today. Is there no clean HDMI on the handheld thingy? Yeah. So this is the GoPro, and what's going on there is there's a bunch of settings you have to do before it works right. And one of those I forgot to do, which is turn off the overlays, which I think if I just tap, scroll over here, and then hit the eyeballs. There we go. Now we've got clean HDMI out. Great start to the show. So yeah, let's talk about this GoPro. First quick overview of what we've got here. So this is my travel camera. This is my Sony ZV-1. I brought that on this trip. This is great camera. I've got the GoPro here, which is the handheld one, and then I've also got this is the Logitech webcam, C920, I think is what it's called, and that is not the best picture in the world, but that's just because it's over USB, and it's a relatively old camera. So cool. So yeah, that's what we got for the cameras today. I'm streaming directly from the YoloBox, so we are actually streaming from this directly to YouTube, which means I'm not going through my normal set of stuff where I can do the map and my countdown music and all that stuff, because I'm going directly from this into YouTube. And I do get the ability to show chat comments. So I can show comments on the screen, and it looks like I messed up and they're in the wrong spot, so we're going to fix that in a second too. But that is cool that the YoloBox has the comment feature built in now, and it's customizable. So I'll show you that when I go fix those. But yeah, I wanted to give this a real test. I wanted to give the YoloBox and Speedify a real test. So I did pop my SIM card into the YoloBox, and I am connected also to the hotel's Wi-Fi. So I'm on I'm bonding both of those connections. It's using both of those networks. I've set a data cap to my SIM card in Speedify to 10 gigs. And unfortunately, I can't see how it's doing during the stream. Like I mentioned in the video about setting it up, is you don't get the ability to, you have to leave the YoloBox app in the foreground, otherwise it doesn't work. So I can't go and actually check the Speedify app to see how it's doing. But I will afterwards go into there and look at the stats in it, and take a picture of it and post it somewhere. Maybe I'll link to it down in the description after the stream is done, so we can see how it dealt with the stream. So okay, now that we got the audio figured out, any other comments here that I can? Oh yeah, so let me go fix the comments overlay while I'm here and also show you the new features that they added to it, which is very cool. The in the comment thing, there's this new button up here, and you can go and customize how you want the comments to look. And this is, so you can choose like the colors now, which is very cool. So I can go and choose like a teal. I can choose the font for the usernames. And then we've got this scale here as well. So I thought that this would have been full screen. And if I show one of them, it's kind of off to the side. So let me see if I can fix that and maybe make it a little bigger. And is that, that's a little better. It's still not quite as low as down on the screen as I want it to be, assuming that is actually what you're seeing on the stream. Yeah. So I would like it lower. Is that as low as I can go? Yeah. And that's the only settings there. Okay, so hopefully this is, well, that's what the comments are going to look like today. Cool. So so far we've got 0 drop frames. We're at about 3 or 4 megabits a second, and it seems to be holding strong. Frank says the positioning and scaling is still to be perfected, which yeah, it looks like it needs a little bit of work still, but hey, at least we can choose the colors now, which is cool. I do think that if I wonder if I pick one of the default ones like this, is that going to justify just, no, okay, still in the wrong spot. So I'll go back to the one with my colors, choose the teal, I kind of liked the little, kind of like the little skinnier font for the name, and make it a little bigger. Let's see if that works. Close enough. Okay, so that's the new comment features. What other questions do we have here that I can show at the beginning? Oh yeah, Rick says the pre-show, where was that comment? I'm trying to do 2 things with the comments today for your benefit later in the archives. There we go. The pre-show photo shows a very nice and compact studio that could fit into a small briefcase. Yeah, so everything here that I've got does fit in a backpack. So I've got the, you know, my desk is looking like this, where I've got the computer, the YoloBox, the little webcam pointing out the window, that camera, I've got one light here, and then the window is the other light. And it all does fit into my little bag over there. Pile of wires and cases for stuff back there. And yeah, I think it's, I was like on the fence about even bringing this stuff today, because I am only here for like a day and a half, really. And I was like, if I can't get it into one bag, I'm not gonna bring it. And I was very happy to get it fitted into just the one bag. And yeah, my countdown music didn't, I don't have my countdown music because I'm not streaming to my studio where I can mix all that stuff in. David Joshua Ford says, question about the GoPro Media Mod. Yeah, so GoPro Media Mod. Where is that? Scrolling. I'm doing the comments twice so that the timestamps work. The GoPro Media Mod is what you have to use if you are going to get your GoPro into a stream over HDMI. And this is a nice big chunk of stuff you have to add to around the GoPro in order to make this work. And I am not happy that they dropped the HDMI port in the GoPro. So now the new GoPro 10 does not have an HDMI port on it, and you have to add this on. And it's like this whole case that you slip the GoPro into, so now it's significantly larger. And the GoPro itself is already larger than the GoPro 7, which is the previous one I had. That one, when you add the little case that gives it the little mount, the new GoPro 10 is like the same size as the GoPro 7 with that case, which is kind of weird. So I'm not a big fan of how much bigger it got, and they dropped the HDMI, so now you have to use this add-on in order to get the HDMI port. And that's how I'm doing this today. And as you saw, I forgot to turn on Clean HDMI out because it's not a setting that's on the GoPro. It's something you have to enable in the menu after you've connected it, which is kind of also annoying. So also, when you turn on the GoPro for the first time, when you plug in the HDMI into the GoPro for the first time, it defaults into like playback mode, like you're gonna watch what you recorded on a big screen, which is fine. I guess that makes sense. It's an action camera, but that is definitely not what you want for doing this kind of stuff. So it's clearly not made as a studio camera, which is fair. They do not market it as that, but because of that, I don't think it's a good idea to buy it if your primary use is going to be for a studio setting. So yeah, that's the GoPro situation. The power in is USB-C. The GoPro itself has USB-C also, so it kind of just moves the USB-C port, and that's how I'm powering this because, again, the GoPro batteries do not last super long, but this is powered via USB-C from a big battery back there. I'm actually powering both there's that RAV power battery. So I'm powering both the Sony camera and my GoPro off of the same battery pack, and that thing can charge a microwave, I swear. Okay, other questions here. What do you think about signal strength? The signal strength of the YoloBox, so far so good. I mean, I haven't seen any problems. I can see that it's uploading. I can see that it's encoding now it's down to like 2, I guess, because there's less stuff going on in the picture. 2 megabits, and so far so good. It's on Wi-Fi on the hotel, and it's on my LTE connection. And I did a speed test before, and I was getting about like 14 megabits on Wi-Fi alone. I'll do a speed test after the stream when I can go back into the Speedify app and test the bonded connection. Walter asks, what is the YoloBox resting on? So this is something I've been working on. It's not available yet, but this is a little portable stand for the YoloBox that matches the design of the A10 mini stands. So I can't get the exposure right. There, you can kind of see it. It's actually got the same screws as on the A10 mini stand. So it will attach to all the same things, like the Stream Deck would actually attach to it. And it puts at the same angle as the Mark II. So this is in progress. It's not done yet, but it is enough for me to carry it around, actually, which is kind of cool. And I like that it tips up at an angle to make it a little bit nicer to use. It just makes the YoloBox a little bit easier to use on a surface like this instead of being flat, where I would have to be like looking over it more. Looks like a quick 3D print custom stand thingy. Yes, it does. That is exactly what it is. Any update on when the audio mixer will come with a delay option? Oh, in the YoloBox? I don't know. That is a good idea, though. So what I'm doing right now to avoid any need for that is I'm sending the audio into my camera, and then the camera is sending it to the YoloBox. So that's how I've got this routed, and that means there shouldn't be any delay issue because it's synced to this camera before it gets into the YoloBox. But yeah, if you're bringing in a mic into the YoloBox, you would need to worry about the HDMI delay of a camera. Oh, and Frank is confirming in 2 more updates for a much enhanced audio interface. Fantastic. Raisin watching from Perth. That is far away. Thanks for joining. I guess I'm early enough in the morning that it's not a terrible time in Australia like my normal streams. Yeah, oh, Andy's saying about the GoPro, maybe they're just saying don't use it as an HDMI source. It's clearly not designed for that. So maybe this is them, yeah, maybe this is them saying no really. What image stabilization do you have enabled? Looks possibly to be disabled. I believe I did disable the image stabilization on it because if you have image stabilization on the GoPro, there's certain settings of it where it delays the HDMI out by like a half a second and it becomes essentially unusable for this kind of thing. I don't remember if the 10 does that, but the 7 definitely does. And I may have just disabled it by default without really testing it. This is not supposed to be a GoPro test, so I'm happy to do more actual comparisons between the 7 and the 10. Once I get back like to the studio and I can think about the testing stuff more. So let me know if you do have like specific questions about the GoPro or tests you want me to compare. I have the 7 and the 10, those are the two. I skipped all the generations in between because I didn't feel like they were worth the upgrades. So those are the two I can compare. Results clean enough, but YoloBox preview seems lag. Does it actually lag? So there's two different previews on here. So if you look at the screen, there's the main one up here. This is like what's on the screen, the program output. This is not really delayed. Like you can see, it's pretty much matching my finger. It's nearly instant, definitely close enough. It doesn't look laggy. These ones are like at a super low frame rate. So if you watch my finger move in the little preview, it's a super low frame rate because it just requires less processing power that way, and that's fine. I don't really have a problem with it. It's not really distracting having these be at a slow frame rate. But this one, the main picture, is not laggy at all. So, okay. Oh, do you know the highest bitrate you can record and streaming bitrate? I don't actually. I didn't try pushing it. What am I on right now? I'm on, let's see. I think it's in the settings. So I'm on streaming mode, direct, and then video output. Oops, that's not the one. Encoding setting. Constant quality at 4 megabits. So it's trying to target 4 megabits. And I unfortunately can't change it during the stream because I have to go back and restart the stream. So I'm not gonna mess with that right now. But I can also later do some more real tests if that's something that you're curious about, of like how these affect things. Because what I can do if I'm back at my studio is I can put it on a Wi-Fi network where I can throttle its speed that it has available on my network, which is a neat little trick. But then I can actually see how it behaves when it has less than ideal situations. Oh, so David says, are you bringing the comments in using your custom method or the YoloBox itself? So today I am using the YoloBox itself. This is all just a very normal scenario of the YoloBox is doing the switching and encoding comments overlay, any graphics, and it's going directly to YouTube. And I do not have any of my normal stuff in the mix. In the last time I did a live stream on the YoloBox, I was pushing from the YoloBox to my studio where I could then bring in my graphics package that way. And then my studio was pushing the stream to YouTube. But I wanted to give this a more fair test that would be more of a normal use, especially because I'm now running this on Speedify. So I've got my cell phone's LTE card, or SIM card, and the hotel Wi-Fi. Those are the two interconnections on the YoloBox. Then Speedify is bonding them, and I've got that running on this device as well. Light in the background, also Pavotube TV Chromecasting, yep. So there's that little teal light, which is the other one of the I have two of these little Pavotubes, and this one is just for lighting my face on the other side. Otherwise, I'm going to be very, very much lit on just one side from this gigantic window. And then I had the other one, which I didn't need for lighting myself since it is daytime, and that's behind the coffee maker. And then yeah, the TV is when I got here, and the TV was like on because they leave them on when you check in, and it was like, go to the Chromecast menu to play stuff from your own device. And I was like, I know how I'm going to use that. So it's just a tab up in my computer, on this computer that I'm using, and it's Chromecasting that picture, which is kind of cool. Ooh, this is a good question. How do you carry the YoloBox around? I'm still trying to find a suitable case. I was very disappointed that the YoloBox Pro did not come with the little sleeve. The original YoloBox came with this little felt sleeve that fit it perfectly, and the YoloBox Pro did not come with that. And I was really bummed because it was a nice little sleeve, and it was a great way to protect the glass if you're going to put it into other cases. So yeah, I'm also still looking for like a good sleeve for that. What I have used is it's like a super padded, I think it's made for tablets. Now that I'm saying that, it feels way overkill for a tablet, but it's like got super padded, it's a sleeve, and it's way bigger than the YoloBox, so it is not a great solution. And I actually didn't bring it today. Instead, it just goes into my backpack, and I have it where the screen is like up against one of the flat sides of the backpack. So I would like to find a better solution. Rick asks, how is it you are traveling on business and also have time to do a live stream? Well, it is 7:30 in the morning here, and my first meeting is at 9. That is how. So I am going to get coffee after this and then come back here for the first meeting, which is actually ironically a virtual meeting still, and then after that I'm going to go to the office. So that is how that is working. Plus later this evening we have a whole other things happening this evening that are yeah, late in the evening. Can you show the size comparison between the iPad mini and the YoloBox? Will you do a stand for the iPad mini? Ooh, good question. So yeah, the iPad mini, which I'm actually not really even using right now for this, but the iPad mini compared to the YoloBox is, let's see if I can get the exposure on this a little better, actually very nearly identical in size. It's about the same height. It looks like the iPad mini is about 1/4 inch taller, and then it is about an inch shorter on the long end, and obviously way thinner. But the iPad mini, I didn't have anything to do with it here. I guess I forgot a regular USB-C HDMI adapter, so I can't even like screen share it into there. But the yeah, the iPad mini, if you had a careful eye, you will have seen on last Sunday's stream, and I think the Sunday before that, anytime I show my desk, I actually do have an iPad mini attached to the stand. So I'm testing something out there where it is above the stream deck, and it slips in, but I'm not there, so I can't show it to you, obviously. But go back and look at last week's stream on Sunday, and you'll see anytime I'm showing my desk shot or like the close-up, you'll see it there. So keep an eye out for that. I am trying to make that happen because I think that's a good spot for it, and it's been working out well for me in my testing. How are you getting comments in DTP? What is DTP mode? This is, YoloBox is doing the stream, pushing the stream to YouTube, so I had to like log into my YouTube account on the YoloBox, which means it has access to the API. So it's pulling comments from the API and it's showing them in the YoloBox itself. But that is totally supported. And Diane says, I love that you're using the hotel TV to put your graphics in the background. Yeah, it's the little things. Use a Crown Royal purple bag. Interesting idea. I wonder if that's the right size. Chris says this will not be a 2-hour stream. No, it is not going to be a 2-hour stream. It's going to be at most an hour. Direct to platform. Oh, DTP. So in my streaming settings, I'm having the YoloBox push directly to YouTube, not going through the YoloBox servers. That is not the same question as whether or not it's using the YouTube API. That's just the RTMP endpoint that it sends to. So yeah, it has access to the YouTube API, whether or not you're pushing the RTMP feed to YouTube directly or YoloBox's servers. Ooh, this is a tough one. Would you use the YoloBox on a paying gig or would you go back to ATEMs? This right now is actually reassuring me that this is a stable solution, and I think there are certain paying gigs where I would use the YoloBox, and those are going to be ones where I can't justify the effort of bringing all of the wires needed to use the ATEM setup. Although I will say that I haven't actually had an opportunity to try that with the Mini yet because there's been no events to go film since that came out. But still, when you're dealing with the ATEMs, you do have to have a lot more stuff. And I don't think I can get I don't think I can get an entire kit with the ATEM into one backpack, for example. At some point I would like to try, but I suspect it's gonna require too many extra things, like even just to get graphics into the ATEM, if I'm doing anything besides still graphics, I need something that's gonna be generating graphics because it's not in the ATEM. So that's gonna be, at best, an iPad playing Keynote or something into the ATEM, but more likely it'd be another computer or just extra things, more wires. So it's very nice that this is all it takes for this stream, is just having this thing doing all the graphics and comments and things like that. So I think there are some where I would use the YoloBox over the ATEMs. I'm obviously not going to run a 6-camera conference where I also need to feed confidence monitors on the stage and the projector and stuff. That's not going to run off the YoloBox. But for smaller events, smaller conferences, I could definitely do that. Will says, good morning from Japan. It's almost midnight here. Thanks for joining. Good to see you. Thanks for tuning in. It's normally even a worse time that my streams are, so thanks for tuning in. Frank says, we've got tens of thousands of videographer customers using it for paid jobs like wedding, funeral, sport event, live streaming. Yep, totally. So that's I think what makes the most sense is when it's 3 cameras at most, obviously, otherwise you're gonna have to start bringing more gear again. But for that kind of stuff, it makes total sense because it's just so much smaller and so much less stuff to bring than having to deal with the whole broadcast kit. Great answer, thank you. Yes, thanks. What are your thoughts on the Teradek Video X? That's the cheapest bonding and hardware encoder from Teradek. I have not used that one. I can see if I can get a chance to test it out. I am curious to actually try it out, but I haven't used that before. I'm sure it's great. The main difference there is, of course, it's just that piece. So then you put it into the rest of your kit. So that would probably make a lot of sense with an ATEM setup. But the nice thing about running Speedify on the YoloBox is that it is no extra gear to bring, which is very cool. I will say that the one awkward thing about what I'm doing right now is that Speedify is an app that's running alongside the YoloBox app, and I can't go and access it because I can't move away from this app while it's streaming. Otherwise, I lose the stream. So it's definitely like not ideal, and it would be way cooler if they could build it in to the YoloBox app itself. So imagine we have all these little tabs down here. This is like the settings, this is the scoreboard. This is kind of like a little mini app, right? The scoreboard app. Imagine if there was like a Speedify app. And you can do that because they do have an API or like a whole SDK for it. And if you go to if you look up Speedify Android SDK, they clearly want people to use this in their own Android apps. So there's like, where's like the, I don't know, where's like the how tutorial or something overview? No. They had like a page for it. I don't know where their like landing page for it was, but the Speedify is essentially, it's a library, and you can, in fact, like bring it into your own apps, and they clearly want you to do that. So it's definitely possible that YoloBox could pull that in, build it into the app, and have real support for Speedify that way. Is the warranty impacted in any way by sideloading Speedify? I don't actually know about that. I don't know what the warranty terms are, but maybe Frank, who is here, can answer. Oh, he says, we just sent a newsletter to the tutorial to the mailing list. Oh, great, okay. Yeah, so it's at least supported enough for them to like help promote it. Art Audio says, just put together a Raspberry Pi bonding rig with Speedify and it saved my bacon recently. That's cool. Yeah, I'm gonna probably do a tutorial on that one as well, just because that's a good solution for making your own little DIY bonding modem. Are you streaming in 1080? I am. Oops, is there an extra comment stuck on the stream? Yes. Are you streaming in 1080? I am streaming in 1080. Hopefully it looks decent. The other thing I wanted to test with this is I wanted to, oh, I've got it stuck on the screen. Uh-oh. Uh-oh. This happened to me once before. It's stuck. I can't get it off. Look at this. Bug report to YoloBox. This comment is not selected, and I can't get it off the screen. And if I show another one, it just kind of covers it up. But then it's it's stuck there. I think this is stuck for the rest of the rest of time. I don't have a way to get it off of the screen. Let's see if this clears it. Nope. Did they update the scoreboard features for the Pro for the countdown timer? I haven't been paying attention to the scoreboard feature because I don't really do that kind of stuff, so I don't know what the differences were. Zach says, wouldn't using your iPhone be simpler than the GoPro? Very possibly that may be a better solution, yes. I wanted to try the GoPro just to see what it would take, how it would work for this. I'm not super impressed. So yes, it may have made more sense to use my iPhone and bring the iPhone Lightning to HDMI cable and do that instead, because all the clean HDMI out apps I've talked about before would work just as well on the YoloBox too. Frank says, I talked to the CEO of Speedify yesterday. Ongoing conversation and negotiation. Well, that is fantastic news. So now you know they're working on seeing if it makes sense, see if they can do it. That's fantastic. Transplant Helper says, I use 3 in my studio, all Hero 7s. I will never upgrade. Yeah, the Hero 7 is the one I've got before this one, and it does have the HDMI out. I would say I have similar issues with it compared to like the little Sony RX0, which is much more meant for that kind of work. But I don't, with the, oh no, that one's stuck now too. Oh, we found some bugs. Okay. But yeah, I don't know, GoPros are just not made they're not meant to be studio cameras. There would be variations of terms and conditions for the warranty on sideloading Speedify, not finalized yet. Okay, well, you heard it here first. Oh, Cajoling Technologies, thank you for the super chat. where is it? It's not showing up in the YoloBox. That's a bummer. Does Super Chats not show up in the YoloBox? Oh my God, all the comments are getting stuck. I have to get rid of these. Okay. Let's try one more thing to get rid of them. Let me try changing to the other comment style. And then done. Did it just change the comment style, but it kept them on? No, it didn't change the comment style. Oh no, they're stuck. They're stuck on the screen. I can't get rid of them. Oh no. Now we just got more of them showing. Okay, so I would like a button that up here that is like remove all comments. Otherwise I have to search for it to find the one. Oh, Frank says it's a known bug. Haven't been able to reproduce it yet. Well, will changing settings for the comments make the bug go away? Apparently not. I also don't know how I caused it. So let's see, restore default setting, reselect template. Can I just change enough settings to make this? Nope. Okay. Here's a good question. Do you know if it's going to be an update for the old YoloBox that will make it close to the Pro? Actually, a lot of the features just made it into the original YoloBox. A lot of the Pro features, I think it was everything except for chroma keying. Don't quote me on that exactly, but it was nearly everything except for the chroma key feature made it to the original YoloBox, which is very cool. They're still upgrading that one too. Yep, maybe adding a reset function. Can the feature be turned off? I don't see an actual turn off comments button. There's only hiding specific comments. Oh, this is a cool one. Sean says, I have had some success using the, oops, where did it go? Had some success using the OBS bot Tiny as the webcam with the follow function and zoom hand gestures working. Cool. Yeah, that one's cool because the webcam it's a little PTZ camera and it doesn't require drivers in the computer to make it work. All that, like the hand gestures and that follow logic is all in the device. So it can work with the YoloBox, which is cool. I should have brought that one with me. I didn't even think about that. I was just so focused on testing out the GoPro today. Just joined. What kind of connection speed are you using? So again, if you are just joining, then what I'm doing right now is I'm streaming directly on the YoloBox, from the YoloBox to YouTube, using Speedify on the YoloBox, and I've got the hotel Wi-Fi connected, and I've got my phone's LTE SIM card. So I guess it's on 4G here. So those are the two internet connections that I'm connecting together, and I'm going to go look at the stats afterwards and see how much it sent over each of them. And I have capped the phone to, I have capped the phone or the SIM data to 10 gigs. And super chats also don't show up on the YoloBox. No, okay, so I was giving it a second to see if it was just like lagging, but no, it's clearly not showing up here. So another feature request for YoloBox is add super chat support. But your question, which I could see on my screen here, thankfully, was, oh yeah, and it's not even like, even just like the regular comment is not in here, even not as a super chat. So there's another bug. Okay, so your question was, will Speedify work with dual SIM phones? I use my iPhone with one physical and one virtual. Wondering if Speedify works. Ooh, that's an excellent question. I think I'm assuming you're talking about iPhone. Yes, iPhone is in the question. I don't think so, and I don't think it's Speedify's fault. I'm pretty sure the iPhone manages the two SIMs itself. And I don't think it exposes it the same way as it exposes the other network devices. It is worth a test, and I do have a virtual, I do use the virtual SIM on mine as well when I'm traveling. So next time I turn that on, which is going to be, with any luck, a month from now, going to Germany, and I will try that. I will definitely try that out. That's a good question. But yeah, I think my suspicion is that it would not work because I'm pretty sure the phone is the one that manages like which SIM to use for data and which to use for voice and things like that. But we'll find out. Oh, Frank says the 2 SD card sources may not be transferred to the original as well as chroma key. Yeah, okay, right, because some of these things require a lot more CPU. What about web-based overlay? That would be also really cool, because then what I could do is use my normal chat system that also supports super chats and has the countdown timer in it and also plays music for the countdown. Then I could bring that into the YoloBox, which would be excellent. Only piece missing with OBS Bot Tiny is you can't change from the standard settings, so you can't change motion tracking for faster speed. Oh, okay. I guess that makes sense. Yeah, because it doesn't know it's anything except just a webcam. Just received a Polycom Studio, very big and expensive webcam, but is able to track the speaker without a gimbal and using its 4K sensor. That's cool. Yeah, there's a lot of cool stuff coming out in that world, I think, because there's so much, obviously, so much demand for virtual meetings and stuff, which is very, very cool. Okay, let me see if I missed any other questions. The other part is the other sort of thing missing from the YoloBox chat is that I can't really tell which comments I've already seen or shown. They're not like ticked off like they are on my screen. So like this is what I normally am looking at, and I can see which ones I've shown on the stream because they turn gray when I click them, and this one I can't really tell. So it's harder for me to like scroll through on this. But hey, at least I can show them. Does the YoloBox support NDI? No, it does not have NDI right now. I don't know if that is on their plans or not. NDI is a whole thing. At some point I'm gonna have to do an actual video about NDI, but I've ranted about it in live streams a couple of times before. I don't know. I don't know if they're gonna add it. I don't know if I would necessarily want them to either, but that's a different story. How about sideloading OpenVPN so you can send the YoloBox to someone to manage it remotely? Oh yeah, I could see doing that for sure. Being able to have it dial into your VPN. That's kind of the scenario I outlined with I put together a little kit for doing a remote ATEM interview remote kit. I could definitely see doing that with the YoloBox too. OpenVPN is just a nightmare to configure compared to literally any other VPN services. I could try it with WireGuard. That one's actually reasonable to configure. Will you try to develop your chat overlay plugin for Safari now that you can load them on mobile devices too? Ooh, that's an interesting idea. I forgot that the new Safari on iOS supports extensions. Interesting idea. I will have to look into that because that could be a really cool use for an iPad, for example. And yeah. Web-based overlay. Frank says web-based overlay is easy, perfect one with fast enough refresh rate and best compatibility with sizes of websites would take longer. It is basically bringing a whole browser engine into the app, which is definitely a thing. But it is already an Android device, so theoretically there already is a browser engine available. I just don't know what the APIs are to use that. But I would love to see that. I would love to see that. Yeah, web-based overlay could allow to bring in Google Docs or Sheets, which could help bring in graphics sources for scoring. Totally. There's a lot of really cool things you can do if you're bringing in web-based overlays. And that's why that's why I've been using OBS at my studio, so I can bring in a web page and then push it into the rest of the gear. I don't know if you noticed, but there are a couple of comments over each other on the screen. Yes, it is a bug on the YoloBox. It is stuck, and I cannot remove it, and there is no way to undo it short of stopping the stream. So we're just rolling with it. But thanks for joining. Ooh, does YoloBox have an SDK? Can it be controlled remotely? Does not currently, but what I have suggested to them is to build in OSC support. So imagine that OSC is like it's a protocol for controlling lots of different kinds of devices, and it's often used in like music and sequencing stuff. So but it's also what like Companion, which is what I use to control the ATEM and other automation stuff at the studio. It can also speak OSC. So what I've suggested to them is to build an OSC server into the YoloBox so that any button you can tap on the screen has an OSC command, so you could trigger it remotely. And then they would not need to build they wouldn't need to ship an SDK, it was just that protocol documentation they would need to ship. They wouldn't need to worry about adding first-class support for any hardware, but then I could take a Stream Deck and make Stream Deck buttons to do things like switch cameras and change, show different overlays, maybe clear comments from the screen, things like that, adjust the audio, and I think that would be a very nice way for that integration to happen. So, yeah, let me know if you would use the OSC feature and like if there's anything besides Companion and a Stream Deck that you would use with it, because it is available in a lot of different kinds of hardware, and there's a lot of different things you can do with it. David Joshua Ford says +1 for YoloBox and Companion. Yes. OSC, excellent idea. Then paired with WireGuard, you have me thinking. Cool. Yeah. I think that's a good way to do it. Different fonts coming in at the same time, so some config change. Yeah, I went and changed the comments settings to see if that would help clear out the old ones, but it did not. Oh, I think I figured out how to trigger the bug. I think I figured it out, Frank. We're troubleshooting this live. It just happened again. Watch this. I think I can cause it here. So if I tap this one, very exciting, and then if I don't clear it and I tap this one, then if I remove it, oh, no, okay, I thought it was that simple. I thought it was if I tap on 2 without clearing them, but no. I was so optimistic that I figured it out. I'm starting to get a little overexposed here. The sun is coming out and changing the light in here quite a lot. Now we got the sunrise happening over there. This is the poor little Logitech webcam, so not the best picture in the world. We'll see what the GoPro thinks of that picture instead. This one is the GoPro. Definitely clearer. A lot more detail visible in the in every part of the picture, really. Good. I'm glad a GoPro 10 is better than the Logitech webcam. But yes, the good news is Frank did confirm that they are working on OSC support, which is excellent. LA12 Sports says, if you get a chance later, set up a test stream. Test stream with Speedify running set at constant quality, 8 megabits, and see if it holds steady. That would be most appreciated. I will see if I can do that to a private stream afterwards. And Ooh, any chance of being able to add video backgrounds to the green screen app? Interesting idea. Have to see what Frank says. I don't know about that one. Marison says, will you travel through the city to check Speedify? I do not have a car here. I could see if I could maybe hop on a scooter. It sounds very challenging. I don't know. I wasn't planning to. Like I said, I'm actually here for work, so I have meetings and stuff to do during the day. But I thought I would just get this test out of the way this morning before things wake up here. Any chance of Vimeo integration? So chat and comments can be shown. Good question. Another good feature request. We will see what Frank says about that one. And the comments are stuck again. Interesting. I do not understand what causes it to get stuck. Okay. You can control the YoloBox by sideloading TeamViewer. That's an interesting idea too, yep. Elmer is watching from Singapore. Thanks for joining. Sean says, my request to YoloBox was to try to run a system where you could record sports and then play back in repeat slow motion. The slow-mo or instant replay would be a cool feature as well. I think they're set up to be able to do that pretty well, because you can already record the stream to the SD card. Oh, here's an idea. Cajoling Technology says, build a UI like ShareLink on the Teradek and then have all your YoloBoxes be controlled through your portal for a fee. Yep. Cool, okay. Where was that comment? It was a little bit harder to find on the YoloBox. If you had a basic L2 TP client, VPN to YoloBox with Speedify and OSC, take my money. Excellent. Okay. Thanks for all the comments, everybody. Good questions. We've got, I'm sure Frank is taking notes, frantically taking notes about what new features to convince the engineers to build. So we'll see what comes out of that. Always fun. Poor comments all stuck on the screen. I don't know what's going on with that, but maybe I'll get a clear comment button added to this after this show as well. Last thing I was just curious about myself. I'm going to do a selfish little test here. I wanted to see how different the picture is between the GoPro and the Logitech webcam. So just one quick little test before we wrap this up. I'm going to try to hold both of the cameras here and get a similar angle as my main camera. So this one is the GoPro and this one is the Logitech. And honestly, the Logitech is doing a surprisingly good job in my opinion. C920 is this one, so not new. And then this is the GoPro, which is sharper, but I don't know if I would say it's sharper enough compared to the Logitech to justify all of the hassle that it took to make that work and expense when this thing is so much cheaper. So interesting comparison there. I do agree that I think an iPhone would have made more sense as a secondary camera for this. Oh, excellent. Frank is saying, yes, sending these comments to our engineers WeChat group. Great. Will there be a YoloBox Pro Extreme coming? I don't know if I wanted to get much bigger than this one. This one's already, the Pro is already quite a bit bigger than the original YoloBox, and honestly, I think this is about as big as I would want this device to get. Again, it's like nearly the same size as an iPad mini. You can kind of see, and it's obviously a lot thicker, but nearly the size of the iPad mini, and that is a perfectly acceptable size to me. It's I do like the size of the original one a little better, but bigger than this and it's going to just get unwieldy. It's basically just going to be a big bulky computer at that point. Okay, any other questions I can get to before we wrap this up? Where can we get your stand for the YoloBox, says Sean. It's not available yet. It is in the works. I will let you know for sure when you can get it, but I'm definitely going to do a video about it when it comes out, because that'll be a nice full lineup at that point. But I'll, of course, announce it on a live stream. And my mailing list as well is another good place to find out. So the mailing list, if you just go, there's a link down in the description to aaronpk.tv, and then it's at the bottom of that. You should be getting emails every time I go live. You get an email a half hour before I go live. And I will also occasionally send out an email manually, not about a live stream, when I have I don't send out emails about every video I post, but if I have, I'm probably due for one soon of here's a couple of recent videos, especially now that I've tested out this YoloBox thing, and when that stand is launched, then I will definitely email about that one as well. Yeah, I'm pretty happy with it. It definitely makes it easier to use on this table compared to having it flat or somehow on a little awkward tripod thing. I like that it has a tripod screw on the bottom, which is, it's nice, but I don't want it up. I want it at this angle, more like a computer. So, yeah. Fantastic. Okay, we're gonna wrap it up here. Get these comments off the screen since I can't do that manually. We're just gonna get them off the screen by ending the stream. Thank you all for joining. This has been a lot of fun. A good little test. I think we did I didn't see any errors. Stream health on YouTube. Well, the stream health is warning me that the bitrate is 0 sometimes, which it likes to whine about things. So I know that the bitrate was not 0 because the stream was running. But YouTube console just whines at me all the time. But I didn't see any glitches. It looks like we've actually got 0 dropped packets on the YoloBox, which is nice. 0% dropped, so that is very cool. And looks like this went pretty well. Try to reconnect to see if comments disappear. Yeah, I'll join me on Sunday for my normal show back at the studio, and I will fill you in about whatever I happen to learn as I'm shutting this thing down. So I'm gonna go take pictures of the Speedify screen and that kind of stuff. And I will share that all on Sunday during my normal show. So with that, thank you all for joining. And I'm gonna go wrap this up, get some coffee, and start my workday. So thanks everybody, and see you on Sunday.